A number 6, declare an array that will have space for 100 test scores. And if you look at the bold, number 6, page 1 still. Did I say page 6? Okay. So if you look at the bold, that'll tell you the format to declare an array. The first thing you're going to do is give it the type. And whatever you've been using for test scores, bless you, I know we're all sick. Whatever you've been using for test scores, that's going to be your type. Your name is going to be whatever, and your size is going to be 100. So for number 6, go ahead and allocate space for 100 test scores using type, name, size. Number 6, go ahead and fill out number 6. Allocate space for 100 test scores. Number 6, allocate space for 100 test scores. Yep, you sure can. So this gets declared wherever your variables usually get declared. If it's declared inside a function, what is the scope of that array? If I declare an array inside a function, what is the scope of that array? Local to that function. If I mistakenly declare an array up before main, what is the scope of that array? Global. Okay, so same rule. Okay? So, okay, and then what do you need at the end of it? Yep. Semicolon. So this allocates space for 100 test scores. Everybody with me? Good. Okay? So far, so good. This is how I create these arrays. Now, if you look at the sheet and turn your page, just for the sake of brevity, I have done it for a 10-element array because I didn't want to draw a picture. But I want everybody to look again at this picture. If I declare an array of 10 integer test scores, what's allocated in space is 10 memory locations, 10 memory locations. And I could access the memory locations by using the name test scores sub 0. So if I said test scores sub 0 equals 100 equals 95, what would happen if I said test scores sub 0 equals 95? The value 95 would get stored, and we'll get to that more later, okay? So keep that in mind, and then let's fill out the rest of the sheet declaring arrays. So page 2, let's declare all these arrays. Go ahead and declare all these arrays on page 2. Type, name, size. Type, name, size. Volunteers to do number 3. Okay. No, we'll spread out the wealth. Enough people will wake everybody up. Okay, but it says, what does it say? What kind of temperatures are they? Okay, number 4. Okay. So right, so yeah. Oh, you want to do 6? Yep. So you see how to do this. So far, so good. Declaring the array. All we're doing new. Thank you. Now, the only thing I might give this a plural. But it's going to be name sub-0. I mean, I don't know. I tend when I give an array name to give it a plural. I can be talked out of it. Hold that, right? Okay. But I typically, I don't know, do you do the same thing? When I give an array name, I typically, you want to go ahead and do the next one? I typically make it a plural. That's just my convention. I'm not saying, I can see this both sides. It's just something I always do to kind of see the difference between one name and multiple. Okay, who wants to do 6? Okay. Who wants to do 7? Okay. We've learned so much. I'm so proud. Okay, 7. Can you move the screen down a little bit, please? Yep. Seven. Just go to the end of 7 and do a return. Okay, now, you picked a hard one. So, yeah, why do we choose string for zip code? You remember that? Can somebody explain why we choose string for zip codes? Anything we don't do mathematical on, we typically use string. And there's a couple reasons for that. Remember? We said if it begins with a 0, there are zip codes that begin with 0. Do you remember that vaguely? IDs, we use 0. Phone numbers, we use string. Do you remember that? Yeah. Go ahead, you want to do the next one? Yep. Does everybody remember that when we talked about IDs and social security numbers and zip codes, it's computer science convention to choose string, okay? We picked a hard one. Okay, and then the next one's a tiny bit tricky. Okay, good. Can you scroll up? Who's going to do 9? Not that tricky. Okay, let's give everybody, who else hasn't gone? All right, Nikki, you want to do 9? And then 10, David's going to do. I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot, just makes people pay attention more. Okay, David's going to do 10. Okay, so you get the idea of declaring arrays. Woohoo. Now we need to do something with them, right? Now we need to do something with them. Okay. So he's finishing 10. Good. Okay. So the next thing we need to be able to do is we need to be able to do something to the individual